Bank holiday Monday, the 6th of April 2026. My name is Mark Sexton, a retired police constable from Birmingham. Well, it just gets better and better. Ian Clayton, I tip my hat to you, sir. What you've uncovered and what you sent to me this morning has absolutely blown my mind. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a meeting on the 12th of January 2022, that meeting was called by the National Police Chiefs Council. And in attendance was every single Chief Constable. Yes, all of the Chief Constables. And it included the British Transport Police, Civil Nuclear Constabulary, Royal Military Police, a Colonel, attended that one, a Colonel, Guernsey, Jersey, Isle of Man, and representatives from the Royal Gibraltar Police. And there was 5 others in attendance, but their names have been redacted. I wonder who they are. I wonder who they were. Anyway, this was to do with Operation Teller. This was to do with the crime number that was reported on the 20th of December 2020 by myself, Lois Bayliss and Philip Hyland, who were lawyers, and Dr. Sam White. And it was serious allegations about the government, the handling of COVID and the vaccines and all that shenanigans. This meeting was a meeting of all senior police across the board and the ones that I've just mentioned. They never ever mentioned the victims, the whistleblowers, the world experts. They never ever mention anything to do with what actually happened, the crimes that are being committed and reported. Nothing. All they're interested in is calling us anti-vaxxers. So when they were labelled as anti-vaxxers for having concerns about our fellow man, woman and child who were systematically being murdered by the state with the COVID. Does it exist? That's another argument. And these bioweapon jabs. So here we have that meeting where they're shutting it down. They're not discussing the evidence or the victims, the witnesses, the whistleblowers, the world experts. No. Shut it down and get rid of these anti-vaxxers. So every Chief Constable across the board, including a Colonel in the Royal Military Police and all the others, they all knew on the 12th of January 2022 about the crime report, and instead of doing something about it, this led to the Spears Directive on the 25th of January. Police Scotland, Assistant Chief Constable Alan Spears, ordered all police not to accept any evidence or any reports to do with COVID, the jabs or the government. So we now know, and here we are 6 years on, they're still doing it. They're not independent. There's no separation of powers. Have they conspired to pervert the course of justice at this meeting? Have they perverted the course of justice at this meeting? Because they shut the crime number down. 6029-679/21. Shut down. They couldn't find any crimes. We know why now. Did they misconduct themselves in public office? Have they assisted offenders because they know who's committing these crimes? So they all know across the board, all police, parliament, regulators, including the military, they all know, and they've allowed it to continue and allowed the people of this nation to be systematically poisoned, harmed and murdered. And what's interesting is the government who committed these crimes, they decided they are not guilty after the assessments were made. And all of this information was sent to the government's anti-COVID misinformation group instead of being investigated independently by the police. Shameful, shocking, disgusting criminal behaviour across the board by all the police everywhere in the UK, every chief. This order was disseminated down to grassroots, and this is why these crimes are continuing. Read this report by Ian Clayton, look at it for yourself. It's damning. and read the minutes of the meeting and have a look at who was there. All of them. They were all there. And who were the 5 redacted, I wonder? Criminal, all of them, criminal. What do? We don't have a functioning police force. They're criminals. They let this happen to us. And they let it happen to their own families. That's how bad they are. Read it. Look at it. Thank you, Ian Clayton, for uncovering this. Incredible work. Share this far and wide, people. The world needs to know, because I guarantee if it's happening here, Isle of Man, Guernsey, Isle of Wight and Gibraltar, it's going to be happening in all your countries across the world. The police are not fit for purpose. They betrayed the people they're supposed to serve. Shocking, disgusting, disgraceful.